Ako si Mark Lopez and my program is Pugad Vloggers, aired every Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. sa Radyo Bandido, TV simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. sa Sky Cable Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Also sa facebook.com, DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and our official YouTube channel.
Pugad Vloggers, ang maraming titirisin, sa loob sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin, ang saya-saya nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers. Pugad Vloggers.
Hi, it's Friday night ulit and you are spending Friday night Pugad Vloggers with me, si Harold Tan. Kumusta na kayong lahat? I hope you are all well. Medyo matraffic po. Matraffic dyan sa Makati at sa mga ibang lugar like Manila. Pati yung Skyway, no? Medyo yung southbound mas matindi yung traffic. Pati yung northbound, hindi namang sobrang tindi pero mabagal lang ang kilos. No? Nakita ng Skyway na mabagal lang kilos. Yun. Ayan, at may nangyari dyan sa NCAA. No? Ang laki-laki ng lamang ng CSB, no? College of St. Benilde. Over the Jose Rizal University, JRU Heavy Bombers, no? And it was the last 3 minutes na lang, no? Tapos parang nagsimula yata yun, no? Kasi based on the video, kasi parang hindi nakita no, ng footage, no? Yung actual na paano nagsimula, no? Pero muntik pa yata niya natamaan yung no? Muntik pa niya na sapakin yung referee dahil may CSB player na nasa sahig, no? Parang I think na ano siya while trying to rebound, parang na-box out siya, so medyo nandun siya sa nasa sahig ng court, no? At itong si John Amores, alam mo naman basketball, hindi niya nakita, no, na may tao dyan sa sahig, no? May player ng CSB na nasa sahig at napatid siya dun. At feeling niya siguro, sinadya yan. So, bigla na lang nawala yung camera at yung director siguro, finocus ngayon yung camera dun sa coach ng CSB. And naku, ay dyan na nagsimula. Nagko-comment na yung mga commentator na mayroon ng gulo na nangyayari. Pero yung director or yung cameraman or yung camera ay nakafocus pa rin sa mukha ng coach. So, ayun. Paano na kaya nangyari yun? So, so afterwards, nakita natin na may umaawat kay John Amores, no? So ang nakikita doon is inaawat na siya, tinulak pa siya ng mga kakampi niyang players para malayo dun sa gulo, no? Malayo dun sa kaalitan niya, no? Pag nung nailayo na siya, nagtuturo naman siya. At nagtuturo siya. Tapos yung pala, yung San Juan Coliseum ba yun? Tama ba yun? San Juan Coliseum pala, mayroon palang puwang. No? Doon sa bench ng mga players, may puwang pala na medyo, sabihin na natin na medyo mawuluwag ng konti. No? Tumakbo siya doon. Tumakbo talaga tong mabilis, no? Si John Amores. And ayun na, may natamaan yata na fans, no? At pati na rin na Tatlong CSB player ang knockdown, no? At yung ano yung isang CSB player naman na yung pang-apat na tatamaan, nakailag ng konti. So hindi natamaan ng hindi masyadong matindi ang tama sa kanya, no? Parang nadaplisan lang. Pero ayun, natigil tuloy yung laro at na-escort na siya, no? Hindi lang ng ano security na, no? Security ng mang venue, no? Although you can see naman wala masyadong audience, no? There were many empty seats. Pero ayun nga, nag-away, so sigurado yun, no? Thrown out talaga yun. So si John Amores eventually na ano yun na napatawan ng indefinite suspension, no? Kaya ewan ko, may mga iba dyan na sabi na he needs professional help, no? Anger management issues and all that sort of thing, no? Pero ewan ko, no? Ewan ko. Kasi if you remember sa NBA, si Ron Artest, may tinamaan na fans, malakas palaaway, no? But eventually he got dropped by parang ayaw na ng mga team sa kanya dahil palaaway, no? He used to be with the Indiana Pacers. Later on, nagbago siya, na pinalitan na niya yung pangalan niya, no? He's Meta World Peace, no? And he played with the Los Angeles Lakers, no? I think he even got a championship ring for that. And ayun, nagbago naman ang buhay niya, no? So wala nang gulo, no? Wala na siyang gulo, no? Time na pangalan niya is Meta World Peace. And while he was playing for the Lakers, no? And speaking of Lakers, ano kaya nangyayari sa Lakers ngayon? 2-9, no? 2-9. 2 wins, 9 losses, no? Nakadalawang panalo. Actually, limang sunod-sunod na talo, tapos nakadalawang sunod na panalo, tapos 4 na sunod naman na talo. So 2-9, no? Dahil recently natalo sila ng kasamahan nilang team sa LA, no? LA Clippers, no? At 114 to 101. At ang pagkakaalam ko, injured si LeBron James sometime in the third quarter. At lumabas siya sa playing court, no? Ayun. Ewan ko ba na nangyayari sa Lakers? Gagaling naman ng players nila, pero minamalas lang siguro, no? At ayun, si John Amores is indefinitely suspended. Ibig sabihin ng indefinitely suspended, hindi na siya makakalaro sa remaining games, at least no this season, no, for the NCAA season. Amores will never show up for the rest of the season, no? At pati sa practice at scrimmages, hindi rin siya pwedeng sumali doon, no? Pwede naman siyang pumasok ng eskwelahan dahil kahit after all, he is still a student, no? Pero yung pala, itong si John Amores, mayroon pala kaso, no? Mayroon pang during the preseason, normally mga basketball teams naglalaro ng preseason games, no? Parang exhibition games lang, kumbaga. No bearing, no? No bearing to any of your rankings or standings, no? So meron na palang insidente dito, no, tungkol kay Amores and the UP player, no? Sa lakas ng suntok niya, lumipad yung isa niyang ngipin, no? At may gum fracture pa daw, no? So dinimanda daw ng estudyante at ang magulang ng estudyante itong si Amores, no? Tapos itong pang nangyari, no? Ngayon, kakasuhan daw ng CSB si Amores, no? Ah, talagang na-knockdown talaga yung tatlo eh, no? Yung isa buti na lang nakailad, no? So parang nadaplisan lang. Yung so meron ding mga na-suspend, no? Suspended one game yung dalawang CSB players kasi parang naghahanap na ng away yung dalawa. At marami, no? I think there were 9 more JRU heavy bomber players na nasa court, nasa playing court na hindi naman hindi naman kasali sa loob ng they're not supposed to be inside the court. Kasi bago ka makapasok ng court, the table officials will call your name or will call your name and then may magsa-substitute, no, para sa iyo, no, when you're playing a game, basketball game, whether it's collegiate or amateur or professional, no? Substitutions are normal. So and the only time na pwede ka pumasok is when the table officials authorize you by going in and the player who you substituted goes out. Hindi pwedeng more than 5 players in any single time. Pumasok sila sa gitna ng playing court. Ayun, suspendido, no? Meron pa yata nga mga ilang players na suspendido for 2 games, no? Ewan ko lang, no? Paano mangyayari doon sa next game nila? Di walang maglalaro. Hindi ko alam paano gagawin doon, no? So, 9 players, ewan ko lang kung magkakaroon pa sila ng enough players on the floor after 9 players got suspended. Ayan. So, what's ironic is itong si John Amores, meron palang sportsmanship award nung high school player pa siya, no? Pero all these things are don't count anymore, especially when you've committed some violent acts, no? Mahirap naman yata yung sportsmanship award mo, pero wala din, di ba? Award, pero knockdown. Maybe he should enter MMA. No. Ang bilis niya sumapak eh. At pagkasapak, knockdown talaga. No? Maybe he should join MMA or boxing, but I think he's better at MMA, no? Mixed martial arts. Pero I don't know. For me, he should seek professional help. No? Professional help. Mukhang masyadong maikli ang kanyang pasensya, maikli ang kanyang very short fuse. No? Konting lang, sabog kaagad. No? So this is not the way to inspire young people or to inspire people to admire you for your basketball skills when you start punching people, no? Hindi bali yung mga yung box out kasama yan eh. Basketball, whether you like it or not, is a contact sport, no? It's not like a boxing or any other combat sport. Kasi no matter what you do, pag na-foul ka, na madalas hindi nasasadya or madalas sabihin na natin sadya, pero minsan kasi nagpa-foul lang mga player because sabi ng coach, mag-foul kayo kaagad para to take advantage of the penalty situation. So imbes na makashoot sila, they have to shoot twice from the 15-point line, and sa statistics somehow mababago yun and it will slow down the game. parang may box out when you rebound at magkakatamaan kang lalaga kayo ng mga katawan or siko or braso, no? Minsan kamao, no? So pero yung bang ewan ko ba, hindi tama yun. So, aywan ko lang kung ganun din daw ang ibang players ng JRU. Siguro naman hindi. Kasi, yung nga lang, bakit ang dami nila nasa playing court? So, ayan, yan ang nangyari, no? So, nga pala, no? Today is 11/11, no? Ayun talaga. May sale ngayon, no, sa mga online shops, no, at ito nangyari, may bago na naman ako sapatos. Mura kaya napabili ako ng sapatos. Pero sana hanggang sapatos lang, no, okay na yan. Tapos today also is November 11. If you remember history, ito yung end of World War I. Ang nakakapagtaka lang noong nagpipirmahan ng armistice, no, yung Germany and France. No? Ang sabi ng France, yung general doon sa field marshal niya, so nagkapirmahan na ng armistice, no? Tapos sabi ng general ng French, the armistice or yung pagtatapos ng gera is on November 11 at 11 a.m. So 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Hindi ko maintindihan, no? If you're going to stop a war, if you're going to end the war, end it immediately. Nangyari dyan? Kasi hindi pa tapos, kailan ba napirmahan yung armistice? Diba? Tapos, yung pala, dahil alas 11 pa pala ng umaga, matatapos yung gera the next day, so nagpapatayan pa rin. No? And in the morning, akala ng mga French, wala. Hinihintay na lang nila yung oras ng alas 11. Bigla palang sumugot ng mga German. Ayun. So, hanggang alas 11 may namamatay pa rin. No? So, that's the tragedy of World War I. Pero doon din sa World War I, nagka-problema. Doon din sa World War I kasi, nagkaroon ng pandemic. Hindi kasi hindi kasi magbibigay ng information tungkol sa health or may pandemic na kumakalat na flu, no? So ang nangyayari doon is galing sa US yung flu na yun, yung pandemic. It's from Camp Funston, somewhere in Missouri. Yung patient zero, kung tawagin nila, sino yung saan nagsimula yan, patient zero, is, siya ay isang kusinero. Although may rank siya, may ranggo naman siya na private, no? So, militar siya talaga, pero kusinero yung kanyang trabaho, no? Ang problema dito, kusinero, siya yung nagsimula sa kanya nagsimula yung trangkaso, no? Ayun, kumalat sa iba't ibang sundalo, no? Pati mga trainees, no? Now, yung mga sundalo at trainees doon, may mga ilan na namatay, pero marami ring naka-recover. So, siyempre, hindi pwedeng magsalita dahil masisira yung moral, no? Masisira yung moral ng mga sundalo at baka mag-worry sila, hindi sila makipaglaban. So, they just kept it quiet, no? So, they were shipping Americans kasi sumali yung sumali ang US sa World War I sometime 1917, no? And they continued sending troops until the end of the war. In 1918, nagpapadala pa rin sila ng sundalo. And some of those from that Camp Funston. Kaya pagdating nila sa UK, doon ang baksak nila. Tapos itatransport sila sa France. Tapos maglalaban sila on the field, no? So kalat-kalat talaga, no? Siyempre at kumalat talaga sa Europe, no? Yung flu na 'yon, no? At because kumalat sa Europe, umabot din sa Spain. At because Spain hindi naman kasali sa World War I. Hindi naman kasali. Pinablish nila na may medyo matindi na trangkaso, no, that's going around, no, and they call it Spanish flu. But why Spanish flu? Kasi sa Spain na nauna ang publication ng trangkaso. That Spanish flu is dangerous, no, kung yung parang COVID, no, merong mga mild cases, merong mga moderate, severe, at critical. Yung mga critical kasi, dumudugo talaga ilong mo. Kaya very dangerous yung Spanish flu na yun. As in, dudugo ka sa bibig, dudugo ka sa ilong, pati tenga mo dudugo rin. That was the Spanish flu. Yung ng mga tipong critical case, no? Critical, ano. At bago tayo tumuloy, Maneka Herse Tolentino at Zepi Zapala, good evening po. Alright. So, ayan nga, nagkumalat talaga yan, no? Kumalat sa all over Europe, no? It's spread on Germany, Austria, Hungary, it spread, actually, mas marami pang namatay sa Spanish flu kaysa sa World War I. Now, dito sa Pilipinas, merong mga ilang historical documents na nakita na although wala pang Department of Health noong time na yun, no? So we were under American rule at that time. So pero meron silang health commission or something like that, no, to observe the medical and the medical field in the Philippines. And more or less, itong Spanish flu talaga, which is actually American in origin, kasi may dumarating din naman sundalo rito sa Pilipinas. Kahit di naman tayo kasali sa gera, kumalat din dito yung Spanish flu. In fact, dahil ang tawag ng mga Pilipino doon, El Trancaso, no? Something like 80,000 Filipinos died, no? Because of that Spanish flu. But like I've said, no, gera, World War I yung kumalat, eh. So they were very quiet. They didn't publish it. Kung may mamatay man dyan, mamatay ka na lang. Ganun. So, but although many survived it, no? And then medyo pawala na sana, pero nung 1920, ayan na naman, second wave, no? At yung second wave niyan, it's all over the world already. And that was the first time there was a mandate to use face mask. That was and to think that was 100 years ago, no? So, sometime 1920, yun nga, in New York, makikita mo mga tao naka-face mask. Of course, it's not the face mask. It's not like the face mask na like this, no? Nothing like that, no? Yung face mask nila is kahit anong tela lang, no? Sometimes yung iba gumagamit na lang ng scarf or whatever as a face mask. So, yun nga. Fast forward 100 years later, ito naman tayo, may COVID, no? Although sana no makarating na tayo sa endemic, no? Patapos na sana tong pandemic at we call it an endemic when we're in the disease or the virus fades away. And sometime in 1922, it started that Spanish flu started to fade away, no? So etong nakakatawa, no? There was no cure, no? It's either your body resisted or not. Walang vaccine. Walang vaccine para dyan. And remember, how can you produce a vaccine when the world is at war? And nobody wants to admit where that virus came from. Tinuro na lang nila yung Spain because of that newspaper article. No? And guess what? No? Yung nagkaroon na sila ng they were able to develop a vaccine for Spanish flu sometime in 1933 na, or about 11 years after the pandemic was over. And there were no more cases of Spanish flu. Then later on, na-develop talaga as in they started selling Spanish flu vaccines. But apparently, there hasn't been a case of Spanish flu after 1922. So, ngayon, ngayon, sa atin, may vaccine na, may booster pa, no? And I suppose, no? I suppose may effect yung mga what do you call this, the vaccines, no? Whether you choose Pfizer, Moderna, Sinovac or yun, or AstraZeneca, no? Whatever you choose, I think yung mga vaccine naman has worked, no? Because somehow itong Omicron has already is no longer as potent as it was, no? In last I think that was last January. Pero kung hindi ako nagkakamali, yan talagang kaya nga pumalat yan dahil kay Poblacion Girl, no? If you remember her, no? Si Poblacion Girl is wag na natin banggitin yung pangalan, tapos na yun eh. Pero si Poblacion Girl kasi umuwi mula sa Amerika, no? Tapos syempre she was brought in sa hotel, no? Quarantine hotel, if you remember, those things were in those days, in the last year, no? Kasi parang last December, parang everybody seems to be hopeful, no? Because yung Delta talaga was very deadly, no? We lost some friends. I've lost some friends during the spread of Delta, no? And I also have lost an uncle when that beta came out, no? Ayun, but when Omicron came, really spread like wildfire. That girl, instead of staying in the hotel, no, was able to call her father, no, and her father showed up at the hotel, and nakalabas siya, no, nakalabas siya ng hotel. I don't know how. The security guards didn't seem to be able to stop her. Sumakay na lang sa kotse. Yan. And then, after going home, the next few days, she was spotted, kahit hindi siya invited, feeling niya, body-body pa rin siya sa mga old friends. She wasn't really invited, no? But she went anyway sa mga gimikan, mga party-party ng mga kanyang mga kasama, no? So, may picture pa, no, na posted on Facebook and later on removed, no? So, So, andyan yung mga waiters, wait staff, servers, andun din yung mga ibang customers, uh, bartender, and all that, no? Yun. Tapos, I think that was December 25 of last year, where that Poblacion girl was supposed to come back to the hotel and do a swab test. It turns out positive. Ano? Positive. So, nung nalaman na positive, nagagalit lahat ng mga staff na nandun sa restaurant or bar na pinuntahan nila. Kasi they will be forced to take a leave, no? Because magko-quarantine sila, and this Omicron really spread so fast, no? At least the first variant spread so fast, no? And although I was already vaccinated and all that, but I'm not sure if natamaan ako, because last January I had a cough that didn't go away, and parang it took 10 days before the cough went away, no? And I really spent my entire 14 days up inside my room, and I was working from home. Parang very mild lang. It's just a cough that didn't want to go away. And then that's it, no? And then a few months later, nagkaroon din na I think it was the first booster was November 30 of last year, no? So I got a second booster sometime nagkakamali. It was I think it was May, no? Or was it April? So I had a second booster by then, no? Months after that, whatever it is, no? And then hindi naman kasi it's parang hindi na masyado ang hindi naman rin masyadong lethal kung sabihin, but I'm sure yung mga senior citizens and those with comorbidities, I think they're more vulnerable, no? No matter what the variant is, no? May Estraigan, good PM, good evening, no? Ayun, so it's a comparison from between about 100 years apart, no? And parang yung sana hindi naman umabot ng 4 years. Because that Spanish flu showed up in 2018, and although hanggang 1922 it started disappearing. So tayo, I think that was 2020 when it started, no? But I think 2019 pa lang meron na sa China and some other countries, no? And it actually spread all over the world. So that's sabihin natin 2019, 2020, 2021. Well, hopefully matapos na yan this year, no? It's already on its 4th year, no? Or maybe by January next year wala na yan, no? Sana we're no longer required, no? Optional na lang kasing mask at indoor or outdoor, no? Magandang gabi rin at magandang Biyernes kay Angelo Redaha. Happy weekend, stay safe. God bless mula sa Malolos, Bulacan. Wow. May mga tagapakinig tayo all over the world. Ayun. So, yan ang comparison, no? Spanish flu and COVID, no? Kung sino man ang nagsimula na nagsabi na nanggaling yan sa people eating bats and all that sort of, I think that's propaganda, no? Because viruses sometimes just show up and become very potent, no? But ang kasi sa mga viruses, while they keep making copies of themselves, they mutate over time. No? Kumbaga, may nababago sa characteristics ng virus. No? Kaya yung original strain ng COVID, you don't see that anymore. Well, it has disappeared. Kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng alpha, no? Which was later dominated by beta. Yung beta ang pumatay sa alpha. Then later on, hindi na rin nawala ng dominance yung beta because of that delta, no? Delta came from India and it really killed a lot of people, no? In India, no? I think nasa 100,000 yata ang namatay dun. And of course, the first Filipino who had Delta was someone who is in who was in I think it's either Qatar or Dubai, I'm not sure, or UAE. But ayun, it's all history now. So I think yung Delta na yan, it's not so much dominant anymore. The Omicron is now dominating. So like I said, this parang nagbabago, no? So hopefully, yung Omicron is very, 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 very contagious, no? But in many cases, in many cases, hindi siya deadly, no? But I guess it's because many people got vaccinated. Ayan, so let's talk about the United States midterm elections. I think that was when was that? I think that was held November 7 or November 8. Yeah, so midterm elections, meaning they don't vote for the president, they vote for vice president. They vote for senators, congressmen, governors, no? Very much like ours, no? Meron din tayong midterm election every 3 years. And the next midterm elections in the Philippines would be in 2025. So, meron ding mga ibang smaller or lower positions, council or something, even a secretary of state of each state, no? So ang ating hindi ko maintindihan, hindi ko magalaw. I don't know, ever since 2020 elections, nagkakaroon na ng bulilyaso yung election sa states, no? Parang merong time na tumigil yung count. It's only last 2020 and this year, na-encounter ko natitigil yung count. No? So I don't know if somebody's making magic or if there's it's really too close to call, no? But as of now, 49 senators versus 48 ang Democrats, no? Ang Republicans or GOP, 49, 48. So, you know. In order to reach majority, kailangan ng 51. No? 51 senators yung Republicans. No? Now, what will happen kung 50 senators sa Democrats and Republicans, lugi pa rin ng Republicans. Bakit? Sabihin mo ng may pantay lang ng number of senators. Pero if there's any tie or any may kaproblema na kung mga nagkakaroon ng tablahan sa botante, the Vice President of the United States has the power to break that tie. Pwede siyang bumoto sa Senate. No? Pwede siya bumoto sa Senate. And Kamala Harris is Democrat. No? So parang kahit sabihin mong 50-50, The tiebreaker is a Democrat, no? So may konting disadvantage ang Republicans, but as of now 49-48 hindi gumagalaw since kahapon pa, no, hindi na gumagalaw yan. And then I think for 2 days nang hindi gumagalaw. Then so far kung di ako nagkakamali, let's take a look at the latest numbers. Yan. The latest numbers of yeah, the US elections. Let's see. Yung governors, wala namang ano, no, yung governors do not require a majority, no, kasi kanya-kanyang state naman yan, no, but people just look at it kasi the more let's say if the midterm election is somehow indicative of the approval of the American citizens or even sa atin, no? It will is indicative of approval of the people over the president, no? Now let's take a look at what's going on here. Wala, hindi talaga gumagalaw eh. 48, ayun, 48, 46. Although may nagre-report dyan, 49-48, no? So, sa House of Representatives, it's 211 ang GOP or Republicans and 192 for the Dems or the Democratic Party. In order to reach a majority, kailangan ng 218. No? But so far, 211, so 7 na lang. Majority na yung Republicans. And let's look at the governor. Yung governor, 24. No? Ang Republicans, 23 ang Democrats. So, ewan ko lang kung niluluto nila yun. No? But siguro hindi. No? Kasi ngayon lang nakakita ng, at saka noong 2020 na nagkakabulilyaso yung bilangan. No? Somehow, it just stops. It just stops. No? If you remember, si Al Gore and si George W. Bush, sometime, I think this was the elections of the year 2000. Yun, nagkaroon talaga ng, hindi talaga actually tumigil yung bilangan. But it all went down, it was really talagang patas na patas. It just went down the wire dun sa Florida, no? So it's Florida that called it for George W. Bush. So ewan ko lang, no? But you know, yung mga states sometimes the Republicans are called the Reds and the Dems are the blue, no? And when they call it red state, they call it Republican, no? And traditionally kasi may mga states na talaga na always Republican ang binoboto, no? And it's just that let's take a look at the US House, no? No? Ang dami-daming mga napakarami ngayon ng states na dominated na by the Republicans. Kaya it's projected that the Republican Party will take the House, no? Sa Senate naman nagdidikitan pa sila ngayon. So what does that have to do with us? Well, makikita natin doon na Joe Biden, kung halimbawa House and the Senate goes to the Republicans, any bill or proposals by Joe Biden will probably be met with more opposition, no? Because you don't control the Senate, you don't control the House of Representatives. Magkakaproblema talaga, no? Legislative agenda mo. So, parang ganito rin, no? If you would, no, if you have parang ang hina-hina ng legislative agenda mo kapag panay oposisyon ang naupo, no? Ayun. So, ayun, tingnan natin yung mga yun. Tingnan natin yung mga nagbumabati sa atin, no? Hindi ko makita yung sa liit ng sulat ng iba. But let's see. Ayun. So, good evening po sa lahat na nanonood sa atin at sumusubaybay sa atin sa radyo, sa TV, sa Facebook Live, YouTube, Streamo, Radio Garden at TuneIn, no? At syempre pati na rin dun sa nakikinig dun sa Radio Garden, no? Okay, so ayan, so yan ang ating resulta so far from the US midterm elections. So Wilma Tatel, good evening. Emeng Estregan, pati na rin si JM Kumanahan. Yun. So, yan. Tapos si Bantag. Suspended, no? So, years suspended Bucor chief, si Gerald Bantag, no? Kaso may na-discover yata mga tunnel, no? It was that was supposedly built nung time na ni si Bantag ang nakaupo, no? So, although they were claiming there were previous prison chiefs that were digging for gold, no? But parang hindi tama. Kasi the Department of Justice Secretary or Justice Secretary is the boss of the Bucor, no? Hindi ko maintindihan bakit niya tinitira yung, alam ko suspended siya. But being suspended, you're not fired. You're just suspended pending any investigation, no? And then tinitira niya yung Secretary of Justice, no? I know may issue yung anak niya, no? Tungkol na sa marijuana and all that sort of thing, no? Pero parang it's telling me it's, you know, a lot of those prisoners, or should I say PDL, doon sa Bilibid are pointing to Bantag as the principal. Wala namang kasi tayong tinatawag na mastermind, no? There's no such thing as a mastermind sa legal term, no? Although it's being used often in the press, no? But the proper term there is principal, no? Parang you're the principal, there's an accomplice and accessory, no? So if you're the principal, ibig sabihin yan, kesyo ikaw yung panagplano nun o gumawa nun, kasali kayo. At meron ding tinatawag na conspiracy, no? The act of one is the act of all, no? So ganun ang nangyari, no? So maraming tumuturo kay Bantag as to have hatched the plan and execute him, assassinate him, no? Yun yung ano dun eh. Hindi ko maintindihan, babanatan mo yung Secretary of Justice, yan ang boss mo. Isn't it a little stupid? Kung ganun lang gagawin ni Bantag, sana nag-resign na lang siya. Di ba? nag-resign na lang siya, tsaka na pwedeng banatan yun. Yung boss niya yun. And as far as I can see, hindi naman nakikialam si Boying, no? Secretary Boying Remulla sa kaso ng anak niya. Huli, no? So, ayun. So, nakita rin yung mga tunnel, no? Mas meron pang there's a body of water, no? I don't know if it's a swimming pool or some kind of imposibleng hindi niya makikita yun, no? Kasi the tunnels lead to Bilibid and outside, no? So hindi natin alam kung meron talagang if there are people escaping through that, kasi so far there are 31 escapees in the last 3 years. Sa 31 na ang puga, no? Pumpugante ng Bilibid, no? Although may namatay dahil natuntun at nakipag naglaban or so may dalawa doon sa 31 ng patay. So hindi natin alam, no? Para saan ito at why does it lead to the Bilibid and to the outside world, no? At saka imposibleng hindi niya alam, no? May yung mga construction equipment, backhoe, ganyan, belongs to the NBP, National or the Bucor, no? Part of ito pa. That place is yung overlooking dun sa director's quarters, no? So kung sino man yung nakikita ni Bantag ano nangyayari diyan, imposibleng din niya alam, no? So to be continued tong si Bantag. Tingnan natin ano mangyayari, no? Let's see what happens next week. Okay, so it's Friday night, no? And please enjoy, stay safe, enjoy the weekend, at maraming salamat sa inyong oras at pakikinig at panonood dito sa ating Pugad Vloggers. Sa Monday ulit.
Pugad Vloggers, ang kurap titirisin, salot sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin, ang saya-saya nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers.